Good morning, my Florida Garden Escape channel, and welcome back. So today we are gonna do a little bit of some remodeling in the garden today because we have seedlings that are getting ready that we're gonna need to transplant, and we're gonna need to get them ready to go to the big garden once they get a little bigger and we get them transplanted into smaller pots and that. So what we're going to go through here and do is I'm going to show you the seedlings, which if you missed the last video, I'll go ahead and put that link to it in the description below so you can go check that out. But I'm going to quickly show you the seedlings, and then we're going to kind of get started on doing some work in our big garden. So let's go ahead and get into it. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell so that way you don't miss on any of our new videos. It is currently getting colder here in our zone 8B. We are technically getting down to 50 degrees at night, so it don't start getting warmer until like later on in the afternoon. So we're definitely feeling the fall season. It's no longer summertime. So it's definitely getting colder. I just went ahead and got the chickens fed, so they're tended to, and collected the eggs. They're not laying a whole lot. I have to put some new hay in there, as that's more than likely why they're laying less eggs. Anytime I start to see where our chickens are laying less eggs, it's like, okay, y'all are laying less eggs. There's not so much hay in the nest boxes, so it's definitely time to change out the hay, add some fresh hay in there. Sometimes I won't even take out the old hay. I'll just add in the new hay with the previous hay that was already in there. And then every couple of weeks or so, I'll remove all the hay out of the coop house and then put all fresh new hay in there. I'll do a video later going over my whole process and what I actually do there, so that way y'all can get the feedback from it, and maybe possibly use it with your own chickens if you wanted to. But let's go ahead and check out these seedlings. Now, if you guys remember, around October 3rd or so, I started these seedlings. Around October 7th, that's when we did the sneak peek video, I want to say. And some of the seedlings were already germinated, not all of them. So it's going to be a big difference from then to now. Here's a quick picture of what the seedlings looked like last video. So that's what they looked like last video. Now I'm working my way into the greenhouse. The seedlings I'm getting ready to show you are going to be our herb seedlings. There's a reason why they're in the greenhouse, as some of these herbs don't require super a lot of water. Some of them do require some moist of a soil, but then some of them don't require that very moist constant soil. So I brought them in the greenhouse so that way I could monitor how much of water they're getting, instead of them being out there where it could rain and they get a lot of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip you guys around and show you these seedlings. So we already have a lot of thyme germinating. I have some spinach germinating here. Doesn't look like any of our mints germinated yet. Looks like some of our spearmint has germinated. Our sage is definitely germinating. We got some Italian large leaf basil that's germinating. As you guys can see, the little green things sprouting out there. We do have some oregano germinating, and then look right there, guys. I finally got some true lavender flower growing as well, so I'm really stoked about that. So it's October 12th. So it didn't even take really too long. It didn't even take a whole week. As I started these kind of like in the middle of the week. This is how many days it took for a lot of the seeds to start germinating right here. So that's the exact count of days. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the non-herb seed tray that I started. These are a lot of the greens and that you grow during these cold seasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip you guys around and show you that as well. Alright, so here we do have our Brussels sprouts. They're Griga Brussels sprout. These are going to be our red acre cabbage. These are going to be our sweet peas. Here we have Brussels sprouts growing. Doesn't look like any of our Utah celery has germinated yet. Possibly maybe one right there. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see as time goes. And then this here is going to be our green salad bowl. This is going to be our Grand Rapids right here. And then these ones right here are going to be the Butter Crunch. They're looking good. The soil is very moist. Looks like we got a little mini romaine popping up there as well. And I do believe we have some asparagus germinating. So that's awesome. So all these guys, what'll end up taking place is I will get these transplanted into a smaller pot. Once they get big enough and their roots get bigger in that, we'll then we'll then transplant them into the big garden. So one thing with seedlings is because they're so fragile, you don't want to transplant them into your garden until they are a little bigger, so that way they can grow, their roots can get adjusted and get big enough to where they can start reaching out into the soil and being able to be able to handle the big area that they're going to be growing in. The younger the plant is, the more fragile it is to grow. It's a lot easier to get damaged. It's a lot easier to get broke. There's definitely a lot of things that can happen when it comes to these seedlings. Bear with me, I'm trying to get my tripods set up here. So when it comes to things like this, when it comes to your seedlings and that, you don't want to, how do I say this? You don't want to put them into your big garden so early. You definitely want to give them time to adapt and grow and get used to the new soil that they're going to be in. So what I like to do is I like to take the soil that we have in our garden and set you guys there, and let it give it time to grow and actually get used to that new soil that it's going to be in. What you also want to do is make sure the roots do get big enough and strong enough to technically grow and get strong. The roots, when they're first at a seedling stage, they're very young. They are very fragile. It doesn't go so well if you try and transplant them a lot earlier than you originally anticipated. So that's why we go through to transplant them into their own little pots at first, and then we move them over to the big garden for them to adapt. Now, I got my camera today. I brought it out here. I'm gonna quickly take some pictures of the garden, so that way I get some good before pictures. And then once we get done, what'll more than likely take place is I'll probably get a good portion of half this garden done, and get it sorted, and then we'll get the rest done later. This isn't all gonna get done in one day. Sadly enough, it is just me out here. It's going to take a lot of work from me to get this whole garden done. If it was more than just me, I would probably move a lot. It would probably get done a lot quicker. But since it is just me out here, it's going to take some time for me to get it all done in that. But I'm going to go ahead, put y'all on a quick pause. Y'all get your coffee, get your notebook out, get ready to take some notes because we're going to get a lot done today. I'm hoping eventually I can move forward to the front part of the garden, or the front part of the flower bed where all our roses are, and kind of deal with that area and get it weeded and be able to get a lot more mulch in that area, so that way the weeds quit coming up like they have been. So I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all on a quick pause. Y'all go get some coffee, get your notebooks and that, and let's get into this. Alright guys, so it is later on in the day. We ended up having some technical difficulties with the microphones and didn't realize it. So this is what we had done, but we had to edit it some. But this is what we had already did this morning, so I'll go ahead and show you that, and then I'll jump back and I'll show you what we got done and completed after phone nearly died. So we charged it up some to finish off the video for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that, and then we'll get into what's current. It's been like a long day process, and like I figured it wouldn't be something that's done overnight. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip you guys around, show you what we got going on, and let's go from there. All right, so we got one pile here, another pile way over there. We did manage to get all the way over here with the weeds and finished off over there. I did leave quite a few marigolds, and then I did realize we have a Gladys blooming as well over here. I left these marigolds here. Our red okra is doing good, so that's gonna stay there. As you guys can see, it's beautiful, it's doing lovely. It's tomorrow's feeding day, so we get to go through to feed our red okra. We got the Canaan lily there, we got more marigolds there. I gotta finish pulling out that zinnia there, and then I think we're gonna be using this for the sweet pea trellis, as they don't get big and bushy like the cucumbers do. We did start getting cleared out over here. We got some in between spaces here, as you guys can see. There's still a lot more to do. I haven't fully touched up over here yet. This is another area that we gotta definitely touch up. I did get a lot of the wild blackberries from over here. I gotta take this apart because Hurricane Helene did push that over, so I gotta take this apart and then get the irrigation hose that's running down there. I got to pull that up and move it, and we're going to rerun the irrigation hose to be more around on this part of the garden, as we won't need the whole garden space. This part of the garden will be in reconstruction. Once we get this side done, I'll find certain areas where I want to put the compost in. I'll add that compost into the ground. It'll feed into the ground and kind of spread out. I won't plant the plants on where I put the compost, as it's going to take time for that compost to break down. But we do still have this side to finish up. With this side, we're also going to be doing the front garden beds as well with the sides. I was going to use the tiller, but the battery wasn't charged, and plus on top of that, there's a lot of big stuff that I was worried that was going to get wrapped up in it, so I didn't want to risk it. I'm going to go through here, get a lot of the irrigation hose pulled up, and we're going to kind of go through here and go ahead and get everything cleaned up with the tiller. I'm going to get everything cleaned up with our nursery. We're going to get back on track fully. And then I'm also going to go through to have this section right here cleared out as well. And then kind of get that over here cleaned up as well. So it's because it's very bushy and I don't want snakes to be living there in that. So once we get that done, it'll be pretty much open. And I'll kind of move from there. We are prepping for the winter seasons and that as well, so that's also in full swing. So it's been crazy busy, but that is pretty much it, what we've gotten covered today. I'm probably gonna go ahead and tackle, and I'm gonna flip you guys around. I'm gonna probably go ahead and finish tackling this out, get this all knocked out, get this all cleared up, pull this out right here, get this whole area over here cleared up, get all the weeds and that from over here, kind of clean up anything left over here with the trellis, and then kind of get the rest of this all cleared up as well, and really get the edge up. And then we'll come through, and I'm going to remove that right there. That's going to go. Everything in this area is going to go. It's going to get it's going to get tilled. We're going to pull the irrigation hose over there. I got to pull this up here. The only thing that probably will remain here is the rosemary. We're going to cover those up for the winter. a lot of our pepper plants here are gonna die off. We won't have them by the time winter comes, which isn't a big deal. I'm actually growing some peppers in our greenhouse, so it's not so much a big deal as I won't lose out totally because we do have some of those in there. But we're gonna get this whole garden cleared out, get it prepped. We're gonna do a little bit of switcheroos here, and we're gonna kind of change up the garden layout moving forward with a little bit of different layout. So stay tuned for that. But first, it's just remodeling. So this is going to be remodeling of part 2. We're gonna get this done. Hopefully I'll get everything done this weekend. It's a 3-day weekend, thank goodness. So Monday I have off work, so I have the time to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. But until tomorrow, guys, catch y'all later. See y'all in the AM. Deuces.